Hi guys, this is Andy with Vector Gaming, and earlier today we played Tom Clancy's The Division, and we're going to be talking about the game briefly. So I'm going to start off with Matt. Let's start us off. What do you think of it?
So this was my most anticipated game of the event. Like, this is the one I was most wanting to play. I like the ideas. Like, I was saying this to somebody in the queue that like it ticked all the boxes for me. That like it's an open world. Tick. I like open world games. It's an RPG. I love RPG games, and it's got guns in it. I was like, that's funny. Oh, and it's post-apocalyptic world. I was like, don't say any more. Don't tease me like this. And so I was like, I really want to play it just to see if it's like hyped up and then ultimately a letdown like Watch Dogs was. Unlike Watch Dogs, we actually got to play this game this year and try it out rather than watching someone else play it. But it was different to any game that I've played at EGX before, in the fact that usually you'll put on your headphones, and mind you, the queue for this was like 2 hours long, so it's like best be worth the wait. Put these headphones on, and immediately I hear one of the people managing the booth, standing by our team of 3. I didn't know the 2 other people. Starts talking. I can hear him in the headset, and he's going, "Okay, guys, so this is what we're going to do. These are."
Yeah, this is a similar experience that I had last year with Evolve. Like, there was a guy there that sort of spoke us through and sort of told us what was going on, which is a hell of a lot more not interesting but useful than not having them in the head.
Yeah, and so he was like, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off like, are you gonna be able to, like, you know, you can shoot some tires and blow some cars up, just a bit of practice, and then we're gonna approach the what they call, like, the dark zone. Or the dark zone, yeah, that's it. So like, we'll approach the dark zone, and we've got to stop the enemy squads from extracting successfully, and doing an extraction. And so like you'll run through there, and immediately we're confronted with these enemies, and they're sort of just standing around, and we run up, and then they're like, "Okay, guys," and they keep saying to you, "Okay, guys, just like at the E3 thing, you see, like, oh, it's all about communication, this game. It's all about strategy. You've got to communicate with your team." And so to start with, we were all just like really quiet. We weren't saying it because you're not used to just talking to strangers like really tactically. And then so one of the guys that I'm playing on my team is like, "Okay, I'll take point left." And I'm like, these guys are getting technical. And he's like, the other guy's like, "Okay, I'll try and flank on the right." And I'm just like, how do I crouch? But then so I started sort of like really getting into it, like the sort of like talk, like, okay, you know, 4 tangos up ahead, you take left, I'll take middle, and then one of them be like, smoke grenade going out, he chucks a smoke grenade, all of us like take aim, goes doof, 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 like we all get headshots, take them down cleanly, and it felt like we worked as a team. It's like, that's really cool. Like, it feels like we're going as a unit, we're actually communicating. You know, we don't know each other, but we've all got a common goal that we're trying to, like, progress, and we're trying to stop the other squads. And, we sort of progressed forward, and, it was crazy, because, like, people would flank from the left, people would flank from the right. It wasn't, like, just a shooting gallery and then progress forward, and it was like, there was so much, it was just all the communication that was going on, and just things like, you know, enemies, there's a sniper at 4 o'clock, so I'm saying, look, 4 o'clock, I'm like, I'll take point, I aim a gun, shoot him, and it was so fun, communicating the rest of my team and doing it. I felt like really immersed in it all, because we were using these technical like terms, and we were communicating, and, just all things that we went from being so silent at the beginning to being an all-out firefight and communicating like, lay some cover fire, I'm reviving him, and then we'd bring him up, and I just love the communication aspects and strategy.
I think that whole thing is going to be key to the game. Like, when I remember me and you played the alpha for Evolve, and there was one game where there was one person that was really good at communicating with us, and he was like, "Right, guys, we've got to go around here. I've got some enemy tracks here, like the monsters tracks." And that made like me and Matt really enjoy that map. And I think the issue with this is going to be like, if you get a team that isn't very good at communicating, that's going to be its downfall again. Like I said with Triforce Heroes, you can do it successfully, because me and Ebbie, when we were playing, because we were both in a game together and Matt was in with someone else, we weren't particularly the best at communicating, I don't think. However, towards the end, we were getting a bit like, hey, I'm down.
Hi, can you revive me? I'm right at your feet. Where are you? I'm right there. Vaults over several things before I'm on the floor like, oh god, I'm gonna die. This is me
meanwhile,
going.
our team's like, Tango down, enemy 3 o'clock, I'll flank left, you take point right, sniper spotted, take the shot, stuff like that, and it's just, yeah.
There was one thing that really bugged me about the demo, and that was when you sat down at whatever TV you had a loadout, and that was your loadout.
Yeah, you couldn't.
So you couldn't change what kind of character class you were playing as, which I guess makes sense because they wanted to make it as balanced as possible or whatever, like make sure each team had a medic and whatever. And I got stuck with a shotgun. I never use shotguns in games because I don't like close range combat, so...
Because you had a primary and a secondary weapon, so I had like an assault rifle and an SMG as my secondary weapon. Was yours all shotguns?
I had a shotgun and another weapon, but I don't remember what it was. It was like a light machine gun or something.
Yeah, it's like an SMG, I think.
I couldn't figure out how to change it.
Why?
That was the button, not question why. So yeah, that's potentially like something that you'll be able to change, I feel like, in the actual game, like, but did that detract from the experience with not being able to play it properly, or I say properly, but not knowing it in depth?
I'll say that I probably didn't have as much fun as you two did, but I still enjoyed it, and it made me want to go, I'd like to play this again, but as something else.
I think I sort of downplay how much I enjoyed it, because I think it's because it's not as fresh in my memory, because it wasn't literally just now, but after I came afterwards, and I was like, I love that so much, I had so much fun, and I was like saying to you, I was working with my team, and then we were calling point, and then he was like reviving me, and it was just such good teamwork, and I was just like so excited after the whole playthrough, and I was sort of pleasantly, surprised, really.
So, like, the actual game itself was a mix between NPCs and there was 2 other teams, so it was 3 teams of 3. So, like you were saying, the first guys we attacked were actually NPCs. And so it was the second team, and then when we got into the central area, that's where everyone, like all of the other players were, and they were trying to obviously get to their extraction.
Keeping on the track of the NPC thing, I was interviewed afterwards for like a promotional video for Ubisoft. For the Division, I assume.
Like Mr. Pointy Head.
Yep, by that guy.
He's very pointy.
He was very friendly. And he mentioned that one of the teams was purely AI, and I was like, what?
Oh, really?
I didn't realise.
But it's hard to tell, because they don't act really derpy. Like,
yeah, they're not like...
They will flank, and like the AI control characters, they will like flank left if they realise that they're not succeeding with their current strategy. They'll sort of retreat. They won't just run at you and stop, like maybe like, I don't want to say Call of Duty, but I've said it now. If there's any other shooter where you just run and they go, ugh, and they just sort of stand there. Are you going to shoot me? And it's like they actually felt, it was hard to tell for me who was AI and who was controlled by a person, because of how natural just all of they just were very sort of like human in the way they played, and they would retreat and they would just be very strategic, and that made you be strategic. But there was, you couldn't. There were some moments where if you tried to run in there like Rambo and go, you would die straight away. Yeah. Because if it's one of those games where like Battlefield, you take shots and it does a lot of more damage. You're not a sponge where you just soak up bullets, and it doesn't do much damage. You have to take cover a lot. Yeah. And when approaching, you learn that when you're approaching a group of like NPCs, and it's like an AI controlled team, you don't just run in there and shoot them, because you can't. It's a lot easier and a lot more effective to just all be as a team ready to, take a shot, pick one target and aim at them, and you all do that. And working together as like a cohesive unit is a lot more effective than just trying to be a lone wolf. If you're trying to be a lone wolf, you'll probably get killed. Your team will probably get fed up with you, because they'll be like, I don't want to revive him because he just is in it for himself. He's not really contributing to the team.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like we're saying about communication being key, because if people aren't listening, or they're not very mature and like, you know, they're just like, yeah, screw you, and like, you know, some kid playing it who just doesn't have a good concept on strategy, you need to be, if you're playing with friends, I think you'll have a whale of a time. Like, you'll have a lot of fun because you know that you can rely on these people that you're playing with because you know them, and you can be strategic, and it all just sort of, the gameplay's there. It's just more, I think, it's down now. The same with like Rainbow Six Siege, which I haven't had a chance to try, but from what I've seen, it's down to communication and relying on the community. Like, the game's there, it's solid, it works, it's enjoyable, but we need to, you know, our players, it's down to the players now. If the players can actually take full potential of what you can do and can approach it the right way that we did when we played it at EGX, then I feel like we've got nothing to worry about.
I think where our team started to fall apart was, the way it works is you don't have regenerating health. You got a medic, so your health, once you lose it, that's it. You're down, but you can use med packs to regenerate everyone else's health. But when you get to 0 health, you sort of go down, and then someone needs to revive you, kind of like Left 4 Dead style. But if you don't get revived in that time, or someone keeps on shooting you die. But you pretty much can respawn almost straight away. That's where we kind of started to fall down, I think, as a team, because I died, and I was the medic. And then when I was trying to run back in, I couldn't find everyone straight away, and I think we kind of lost all of the team cohesion.
It's sort of like when you lose one link, it breaks the chain. Yeah. Like, it's sort of like, you know, going back to being like a cohesive like unit that just works as one, and you know, your gun alone's not going to do the job, and your firepower isn't. You need everyone working together to push forward and push through. And if you lose one of those people, they're quite vital, because if they're on like the left, if when you're attacking from, they were flanking, like the team was flanking on their right, so your left, if that guy gets taken out, no one's protecting that side, so you're going to get flanked, and you'll need to change up your strategy and approach until that person comes back. If you don't know what to do, you're like, okay, we were working well as, you know, 3 of us, but now we've lost one. We need to learn how to work as a duo, basically, until they get back, and it's sort of adapting and switching up. But it was I just like the fact that it was like a realistic approach. It wasn't like these guns are ridiculously like, you know, you can just fire loads of ammo and it won't do much damage. It's like, it won't do much damage it depends where you aim. If you get good shots to the head, you can take out someone fairly quickly. But when you're under pressure of all this gunfire going on around you, and it's not like you can just focus, because you might be focusing on enemies shooting them, but you've got teammates in your ear going, oh, I'm down. And you go, oh, do I go over there? Do I finish this guy off? Do I tell the other guy to come with me and support me? But then he's losing that side, and it's sort of like, there's so much going on, you're having to make split decisions. It was very, like, you're not just going through the motions, fire, gunfire, bang, bang, shooty, bang, bang, die, like Call of Duty always does. But I think the fact that I think it was good that I wasn't on a team with you two, for the fact that being with random people, tested that whole idea of, can 3 people that don't know each other communicate effectively? Obviously not always, and sometimes better than others, but the fact that we were 3 people that didn't know each other, and 5 minutes into the game, we're calling like Tango at 3 o'clock, enemy sniper, one of you take point, help me flank on the left, push forward, fall back, I need reviving, provide cover fire. The fact that we were doing all this and communicating, I think, is a way that the game, because it puts you under that pressure of, look, you're not going to survive on your own if you just, I think it's going to be teaching you as a learning experience, hey, treat the rest of your team like, with respect, and help them, because if you don't, you're not going to progress, and you're just not going to, when we play games, we want to progress, and we're going to do that, so naturally, we'll find, the only way I can progress is when I work with my team, so I feel like there might not be an issue with...
You say that, although I didn't personally do that, I know Ebbie didn't do it, but there was obviously this whole rogue agent type thing, so you can just completely fuck over the rest of your teammates and steal all of the loot for yourself. So there is that sort of teamwork, and if you actually looked at the other teams, the guy explaining it was saying if their nameplate was red, that meant they were a rogue agent on their teams, and just watch out for them, because they're more likely going to stab everyone in the back around you, which is actually the interesting thing about the game that I hope sort of takes it forward.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, like, I think just, you know, it works sometimes better than others, but I feel like there is the potential there for, like we did with Evolve when we played the alpha, there's a potential for you to have some, you know, just like with any multiplayer game, you're going to have some experiences where, oh, the teamwork was terrible there. Like when I play Rocket League, I'm like, these guys are terrible, they can't work as a team, no one's defending. It's like with this, it's like, we're not working well together, but another game, it's like, that game was the best game, the best, like, people I've ever played with. I want to play with these people more, and you might make friends through that. Because if it's trying to advertise, and when people are trying it out to say, hey, use your headset, when you get the game, you might be like, oh, I should probably use my headset like I did when I tried it out. When you hear more people using the headset on the game, oh, I'll turn mine on, because then I can tell them what I want them to do, or how I'm going to do things.
I think the proof of this is really going to be when the beta actually goes live and everyone gets a chance to play it online and through the internet. I think that's going to give us more of an idea of whether this game is going to have the longevity, unlike a team game like Evolve, where, you know, like, apparently it's a bit of a ghost town now, where everyone has almost stopped playing it. And if that's going to be the case with this, then that is a potential danger with it. The other thing that I think might have an issue with it, but we didn't play it long enough, so I don't know if it will be, is if you're going to be going into a similar area every single time, and if it becomes very repetitive, if you're all going in, attacking like a couple of sets of enemies, and then everyone else, I'm not sure if that is going to have the longevity of the game, and it might die out.
Just the one thing that I want to know about the game as a whole is what the purpose of it is, like, to what benefit are we doing this, like, getting
there's some
loot?
things where you get like better loot, like better weapons, that sort of RPG
but
feel.
why do we need the better weapons?
Well,
like, I want there to be something overarching, to be like, oh, we're working for this cause.
It's probably going to be so you can get more like unlockables and progress your character and unlock more cool stuff, a bit like how,
but I don't like that as an idea, just being
maybe
like,
I'm just
get
saying
cool
from,
stuff
like,
to get more cool
I'm just
stuff.
saying from like first glance of what we've seen so far and what's been described, that feels like part of why we're stopping them, like, extracting, you know, like, I think they're extracting weapons or something.
That's just my major concern, is that it's going to be like, oh, we just want to get cool stuff, and we don't want other people to have cool stuff. Rather than being like, oh, we're doing this for a reason.
We're doing this for swag purposes, but I think those are concerns. Do either of you have anything else?
I just want to say finally, sometimes Ubisoft have a habit of having a good idea or having a really good concept and then screwing it up last minute. So please, don't screw it up. Because if I have more experiences like I did today, I'm going to love this game, because it was just the right time, right place with the right people, and the gameplay was there. Just improve upon it. Like Ebbie said, give us more incentive to do this stuff, and let us know those reasons, and just don't screw it up. Simple.
I think that's a very nice place to end. So thank you very much for watching. Check out all of our other EGX coverage, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.